What does a realtor do when they're helping you sell a house? Are we these master advertisers that are amazing at getting people's attention and will make people walk through doors even though they weren't even thinking about buying a house?
So how did we end up here?
Well, we just came from the,
No. We have a pretty simple job. As a matter of fact, I think we're a little overpaid for our job, but hey, we'll leave personal opinions aside. Our job is pretty simple. We gather the information on the property, and write a nice little description for it, take some decent photos, and put it on the MLS. The multiple listing service, every state, every county has a different variation of it, but essentially most of them post the houses up there and it syndicates to all other websites, right? It's not too hard. Well, you guys want to know a secret? You can hire a real estate photographer for like $300 or $500. You can have that same company actually write your description for you. So really, we just gather the information and we present your house and present essentially you to the best that we can. If we get calls on the house, whatever the case may be, we respond accordingly. What happens when realtors do not do a good job doing this? What happens when they use very interesting means to get attention? Is it a good thing? Or is it a bad thing? Well, let's look at some very interesting photos that I found on a subreddit called Ridiculous Real Estate. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to go through some photos here, but most importantly, we're going to start with a specific listing that was found on Zillow. It went popular on TikTok. You might have heard of TikTok, where I waste a lot of time. I don't know about you. The person found this listing that was a little interesting to say the least. Here's the listing. Cute little house in Oklahoma City, currently under contract, so clearly they got the job done, but not too many photos. Let's look at the description. Tired of touring houses and it's being straight dog water? Say less, my non-gender specific human. It used to say my guy, I think they changed it. This house can be bussin', no cap. Come in the door however you can and be prepared to yell, sheesh. So I looked up the realtor, and he's not just a young guy. A lot of people are saying that, all these Zoomers are becoming realtors now. That's not the case. It's clearly an older gentleman who's using the words and the trends, and clearly it's worked to their advantage. This house has 27,000 views. I am talking about it here right now. So did they do a good job or a bad job? Well, here's the thing. This house is under contract, and it's gotten more attention than it should have on the market. So you could argue it did a good job. Whatever attention was brought up to the property made it sell and made it sell faster or for a lot more money. You could also argue it's not great to get all this unnecessary attention on this property when it probably would have just sold fine. More on that later. Now let's look at some of these photos. We're going to start off with the very interesting photo where this listing apparently had too many cracks in the driveway, so the realtor thought it was an amazing idea to...
Are people going to really tell? Let's put a car in there and see what's going on.
And this happens all the time. You might see this with Photoshop grass, or you might see the backyard. Look at this photo and tell me, first of all, I don't know if you can tell this house isn't for rent, so don't get any ideas. Tell me that sky is perfectly lit up. Do you think that's real? Do you think this is real? This grass, I'll give it some credit. Maybe it is that green. It looks like turf. But just next time you look at a house, look at the grass and tell me if it's been colored or not. Because believe it or not, a lot of photographers color in their grass to make sure it looks a little dark and a little darker, a little prettier than it's supposed to be. And trust me, if you've been looking for a house, you might pop up on a house and you'll see, holy crap, I thought this grass was green. Oh, was it an old photo? No, they just photoshopped the heck out of it. Love this post. Have you ever wanted to live in a town, but the town is inside of your own home? Actually, this house isn't too bad though. I wouldn't mind living in it. Okay. They have a window within a window. That's insane. Okay. Yeah, I can see why it's a little crazy. It took a bit, but I figured it out. All right, that's a fun one. Now, let me show you another one that I found called Zillow Gone Wild. Now, don't worry. Safe for work. So chill out for a bit, okay? And there's some really nice ones here. Like here, this is 2.7 million, and this was actually built by one of the original Imagineers, I believe, of Disney. So, we can find some interesting ones like this one here. The Reddit poster Humble Masterpiece posted, photographing is hard. Exactly. So why would this realtor in their right mind post these houses like this with these photos? Got another gold one here, 217, and apparently she comes with a house. Talk about nightmare fuel, right? She has to show off that, what is that, a bread thing? Bread opener? Live, laugh, love. That's not good. Do you ever look up at the stars at night and ask yourself, should I rehab a hoarder house? Have you ever watched Easy TV and thought I could do that? If so, look no further than this diamond in the rough. This 3-bedroom, 1-bath home literally has it all, much of which will either need to go or be repurposed. So bring your hard hat and pair of thick gloves. But oh wait, great treasures await you inside. Could there be ancient scrolls etched in papyrus? Pottery from the Neolithic era? Or perhaps an 18-month-old turkey sandwich? Who knows? What do we know for the roof that's become nature's playground? And some lights that don't work. Plumbing issues may be present as well. But there is a huge upside once this frog is turned into a prince. So funny stuff. And of course, if you see any interesting photos, I would love to either send them me via my email or join our Discord and post them somewhere there. You know, realtors get paid a good chunk of money. They get a percentage of the house. And is it difficult to do our job? No. All you gotta do is take some decent photos, write a decent description, and hey, if you get lucky, you might get a realtor that makes your house viral. Virality can be great because I'm sure there's some examples of houses selling for way more because they went viral, but at the same time, if you really think about it, when you list a house in the market, the buyer's already out there looking for a house. Very rarely are you going to convince a buyer that's not in the market to get qualified and buy that house. I would argue 80% of the time, the buyer that's out there is already looking. Either you got their attention or the price isn't low enough to get their attention, right? Because a lot of times the price is what makes the house sell. And very few times will people actually get convinced to buy a house. Like, that's why I always think open houses are useless. Yes, I'm sure there's a small percentage of people that have been able to sell a house with open house, but if you really think about it, you're not going to convince those people to go and buy your house if they're not looking seriously. Really, they're just an opportunity for realtors to get more qualified buyers so they can get more clients out of your listing. So virality can be a good thing if the house hasn't sold, but it also brings a lot of unnecessary attention to these listings that probably would have sold just fine if they were priced and accordingly and photos were taken accordingly. A lot of times, not saying this is a situation with these realtors, they use an opportunity to maybe get some clout, right, and get the job done. Now, am I speaking this as a master lister? No, I'm not. I am just a loser realtor out here in Phoenix, Arizona, helping first-time home buyers. But either way, I think that realtors, we gotta step up the marketing game. At least decent professional photos, a decent description, and if the price is crazy, it is what it is, but we at least have to have a standard of something good, right? So that's my thoughts. A little interesting, fun video for you guys tonight. If you like this kind of content, let me know. I would appreciate you. And of course, I'd love to see any photos you find out there in the wild. And if you want to see a video like this again, let me know. Thank you.